everyone, I'm Allie with Potomac Beads. Join me in making a nice new ornament, which can also be a pendant if you want, the Falling Star. If you do need any of the materials, check the links below and we'll get started on our beautiful creation. So to get started, we are beginning with our quad bows. They are 4 holes and we're using the white shimmer color. I want to add a stop bead to my size 11 English beading needle, and I'm going to do the stop bead just far enough down that I have enough to kind of tie off the end of the thread. I'm taking white 0.006 wildfire thread, and I have about 4 feet on my needle. I'm going to go up through the first of my quad bows, and the way that I'm going through is the quad bows are going to sit so they're on their exterior. So I want you to come down from the arch towards kind of the outer edge, going through hole number 4. Coming out the middle, grab one of your 15, which is a lined gold rainbow, and we're going to add 2 of our mini duos. And the mini duos I'm using are the snow white. And I'm going to let those drop down, followed by 1 15. Pick up your next quad bow, and you're going to go through hole number 1, going from the first hole of the larger portion of the arch towards the smaller interior of the arch. In the inside here, what I want you to do is add 2 15s, followed by 2 of your mini duos, followed by 2 15s. From there, you're going to go from hole number 1 of that quad bow to hole number 4 of the same quad bow. So we're skipping over holes number 2 and number 3, and those are just going to hang out right in the middle there. I'm going to repeat this same thing an additional 4 times till I have a total of 6 of my quad bows in, and then I'll show you how we're going to, as we go through the last one, coming out the top, you're going to add 2 15s and 2 of your mini duos as well. 2 15s, and then come back through to exit and to finish off that design. After you have 6 sets completed of this, the quad bow followed by the mini duos, you're going to be coming out the last 15. We're going to go back to the first one here, and we're going to connect onto hole number 4 of the first one. That's going to round this out and have it kind of sit in a jumbled mess. For now, what we're going to do is I want you to add 2 of your 15s, 2 of your mini duos, 2 15s, and then I want you to come down through that first hole of the quad bow that we were exiting when we started the whole process going around. From here, we're going to get out our 2mm bicones, and I'm using the Opal AB color, and I want you to have ready 6 of those. We're going to use those to connect all of our quad bows together in order for it to sit correctly. Also, we're going to be adding another bead kind of right there at the top. So to do so, what I want you to do is take your 2mm bicone, coming out there, so into the next quad bow, into that hole number 1. That 2mm bead is going to stick to the back behind your super duos. So you can see it just kind of pinches it together there, right like so. Here again, coming out the top here, I want you to add an additional kind of row of beads will get added as we go back through and connect. So all you're going to do right now is we're actually going to decorate the exterior. So you're going to grab out your briolettes, and again, same color. I'm using that Opal AB. You're going to need 6 of those as we go around and kind of, then we'll work our way towards the interior. And if you have these briolettes are a little tricky. You want to look at them and see the briolette and where the hole is at the top. Try to get ones that are pretty close to the top and not further down. If you have one that's a little bit further down, push that aside, keep it for another project, and this one go, make sure that you have them towards the top. Coming out the top here then, I want you to do 1, 2, 3, 4 of your 15 O's. You're going to go through that second hole of the super duo there. Coming out that second hole of the super duo, add in your briolette or your drop, whichever one you want. Go then into the next mini duo, through that second hole, making sure that your thread's kind of cooperating and that it's not going to move down at all. 4 more seed beads get added. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go into hole number 4 right there. And just come out right after your quad bow. When you come out after the quad bow then, back to the 2mm bead, so we're kind of spinning around, push those seed beads or those mini duos in towards the center, add 1 more 2mm bead, so up through the next exterior hole of the next quad bow, come on out, give a tight pull to make sure those sit towards the middle, just like that. And as we do this, those will really get pushed in towards the center, and you're gonna have that nice interior design happen with your mini duos. From here on the exit then, what you're gonna do is 4 seed beads in through the first hole of the next mini duo that's open, add your briolette, sew through the next mini duo, 4, and continue the whole way around, adding in your exterior briolettes as well as the 2 to connect and to make it form into our nice 6-sided circle. Once you're coming down, adding your last 4 beads, they're going to be right there at the stop bead. And I want you to go through the 15 and the mini duo that you added first. So we're just going to pull this thread through, keep that there. And I want you to go through both mini duos. And what we're going to do now is we're going to step up in the mini duo from that first hole that our thread is going through after coming out through that second mini duo, pulling the thread out. And you're going to step up, meaning you're going to go from that first hole of the mini duo to the second hole of the mini duo. As we exit through the second hole of the mini duo, we're going to get ready to put in our pattern and our design here, our PieDuos. I'm going to be using the PieDuos in the Aztec gold color, and just like everything else, we're going to need 6 of those. So you want to get 6 of those Aztec gold PieDuos out. When you're coming out the top of the mini duo there, that second hole, you're going to add your first PieDuo. The PieDuo is going to be added from the V there towards the exterior hole. I'm going to let that sit right down next to the mini duos, and it'll sit in there perfectly. Go ahead and grab 3 of your 15-ohs then. Take your thread and needle and go through the PieDuo as well as through the next super duo there. When your thread and needle come out the top there, give a nice tight pull to make sure that it's nice and in the center. Coming out through the top here, I want you to add 2 15s, 1, 2. Now we're going to catch on to those holes of the quad bow that haven't been utilized or used yet. So you're going to go up through hole number 2 and pop one out through the top. When you come out the top, we're going to add another one of our mini duos. So 2 go on there. You can see how that kind of forms a nice little piece. We're going to add in here 1 and 2 of our 15-ohs, 1 of our mini duos, and 2 15-ohs. Come down through hole number 3. So you can see where it's exiting there. When it exits there, I'm going to pull my thread here, make sure that you're not catching on to anything else. Make sure that super duo just kind of sits, and it's going to stick up pretty much right in front of that briolette. That's what you want. Coming out the bottom here then, add 2 more 15s onto your ornament. Go through hole number 2 of that next super duo in line. Grab your next PieDuo, going through from the V towards the outer edge, towards the crust of the pie. 3 more 15s go on, down through the second hole, and as you exit the second hole, you're also going to exit through the next mini duo. On the next quad bow, go up through hole number 2, add 2 15s, 1 mini duo, 2 15s, and then come on down through hole number 3 and continue on adding this in so you have a total of 6 of your PieDuos in towards the center. As you are exiting the last time putting on the last super duo mini, you're going to add 2 15s onto your thread and needle to connect to that first one of your PieDuo. Now this little ornament does sit a little bit 3-dimensional, so what you're going to do is you're going to go up through that mini duo there. You're also going to go through the PieDuo, and as you go through the PieDuo and come on out, that connects all of those pieces together. So as you lay it there, you can see the two-dimensional or the three-dimensional effect starting to happen. What I want you to do is sew up through your 3mm or your 3/15 seed beads. Bring your thread and needle out, and then you have another set of your 2mm bicones ready to go. The 2mm bicones are going to connect the 3 seed beads at the top of all of the PieDuos. So on goes one of your 2mm, and then you're going to sew through the next 3/15s. Again, on to the next then, kind of spinning around. On goes one of your 2mm beads, in through the next 3/15s. So just like we did when we attached the quad bow, putting the 2mm bicone in between all of the exterior of the quad bow, we're doing the same thing in the interior here, spinning around and adding in all of our 2mm bicones to sit and connect and raise that up just a tiny little bit with the PieDuos. Once you're done with the interior, you're coming back out through your 3/15s that your thread was originally exiting. You're going to grab your 8mm bead. Now you can keep the middle empty if you want to. You can even sew or glue in a chaton if you want. I'm going to be using an 8mm pearl, and the 8mm pearl that I'm using is a Czech pearl in the cream shiny color. I have my one pearl going in there, and I'm going to push up from the back there. So see how I'm kind of pushing up from the back. And I'm going to go to the 3/11s, or the 3/15s rather, that sit straight across. I'm coming out the top of the 3/11s on the left. I'm going to go into the bottom 3/11s, through them all towards the top on the opposite side. When I do that, it pulls that bead right into the middle, and it helps with that nice three-dimensional look. Coming out there, go back through the pearl to center it. Go back through those 3/15s that your thread was originally coming out of, through the next bicone, and out. When you're through the next bicone and out then, what I want you to do is you're going to bring your thread and needle up towards, so you can see right there, it kind of pops it in there. You can see how you're getting that nice kind of three-dimensional shape that it's pulling it up towards the middle. And what I'm going to do now is get my thread and needle so I can connect to that exterior hole of the MiniDuo that's sitting up. I'm going to go down through the PieDuo right after that 2mm. Once I'm through there, I'm going to go through the first hole of the MiniDuo right there next to it. Once I'm through that MiniDuo, I'm going to sew through to the bottom hole of those 2 MiniDuos. If you want to, and you can go through both of them at the same time if your needle and thread will allow it. Sometimes you have to go through one, just kind of bend it off to the side a little bit, like I'm having to do here. Right there. And we're going to get to the second MiniDuo. What we're going to do as we go through the MiniDuos is attach our crystals coming out of the minis. We're going to attach our crystals to get that section also three-dimensional. So you're going to go through that second MiniDuo and out, not through the 15 at all. So you're not going through the 15 at all. And lay your piece laid down if you want. Coming out here from the side, we're going to go from the side here, get your Potomac crystal drops, and these are a 3x5mm. You're going to need 12 of these because you're going to need one for each size. And I'm using the light Colorado Topaz AB color. I want to do it so that the bigger side of the drop, so see how they have kind of a smaller side and the bigger side? The bigger side is going to be facing closer to our MiniDuo, smaller side facing down. I want you to do 2 15/0 seed beads, then sew through your drop, small side first, add one more 15, and then sew through the MiniDuo there. You can see how that just kind of decorates the edge there. Adds a little more glitter to our little fallen star, little snowflake ornament. 1 15/0 goes on then, and I'm going to go through the drop the opposite way because I'm coming from the top down, so bigger side first, followed by 2 15s, and then I'm going to sew through this next set of my Super Duo minis. As I come out through that next set of Super Duo minis then, and again, you might have to do one at a time, go through one, pull that thread through. You can see how that decorates that lovely there. Go through the next, and then as you go through the next one, you're starting over that nice little addition of that second row of your crystals. So again, 2 15s, 1 drop, 1 15 through the whole way around. Once you're done adding your drops and your 15s, you're pretty much done the piece. I'm going to show you where I recommend putting the bail or the loop for your ornament if you want to hang it from a tree, or if you want to do it as a pendant. I wanted to show you how big the pendant is. It's not terribly big, so if you want to keep it as a pendant rather than an ornament or vice versa, you can do that same thing. So what do we need to do in order to kind of finish this off? So we have that beautiful three-dimensional shape going on here of the piece, and what we want to do is, as you're ending your last piece coming through your first Super Duo Mini there here, I'm going to go into the second Super Duo Mini. As I exit the Super Duo Mini there, rather than coming right out through the top, what I want you to do is go through the Super Duo Mini, go through the 15, and wiggle your way out through the top of the quad. So once you're at the top of that quad bow, this is where I'm going to go in and make my my bail or my holder, basically, if you want to do it as an ornament. So to make the holder here, I'm coming out of the top of the quad bow. We're going to do a little bit more with the drop. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 of my 15s on my needle. Small side towards the top end, the bigger side. I'm going to let that fall next to the piece. Go ahead and grab a wire guard or a wire protector if you're going to add that. If you don't have that, what you want to grab is a soldered jump ring, or you can join and add a split ring. So I'm just going to add one there. Go through, back down through the crystal. When I'm down through the crystal, so I'm going back down through that same teardrop crystal from the big side towards the small side, I'm going to give a nice tight pull so I don't see any extra thread there. And again, I just have mine on a split ring. 4 more of your 15-Os go on. You're going to go into the second hole there, or the first hole of the second quad bow, the one next in line, and down through. That's going to perfectly position then your piece here when you have it on the tree, that loop will sit towards the top and hold your little tree holding. From here, I'm going to reinforce that. So you're going to sew back through the 2mm bead one time, back through that 4th hole again of the quad bow, up through, so you have a second strand coming through there. And then once I come out of the quad bow, I'm going to just sneak my thread from hole number 1 there, or hole number 4 rather, into hole number 3, up through the top, down through hole number 2, back through hole number 1, and tie off my thread ends to complete my pendant or ornament. Thanks so much for joining me in making this lovely Fallen Star ornament or pendant. Remember, if you do need any of the materials for the Falling Star, go ahead and check the links below to shop with us online at PotomacBeads.com, as well as PotomacBeads.eu. As well as, if you haven't, list below any changes that you're going to make to your Falling Star ornament, different colors, questions you may have, substitutions, and we'll be happy to address them in the comments. Also, give a little thumbs up, and don't forget, if you haven't already, to click that little subscribe so you don't miss anything from us here at Potomac Beads. Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy your Falling Star new ornament or pendant.